This is really exciting. USA Rugby gets to host the opening round at the 2019 HSBC World Rugby Women's Sevens Series. Now, this is a qualification tournament for the 2020 Tokyo Games, and it's happening right here in Glendale at our world-class Infinity Park. With more, I have General Manager Emily Bidwell. Good to see you.
Yeah, nice to
So this is exciting. I mean, women's rugby, what's happening in the sport? Can you tell me all about it?
Yeah, I mean, the sport's had a massive uplift in growth, even in the last 20 years, but even in the last 5 or 6. I mean, we were inducted into the Rio Olympics. That was the first time women's and men's sevens was at the Olympics. So we really saw a lift from that. And then just on the women's side, it's becoming an NCAA emerging sport. So just the growth there with more collegiate teams playing, we're really seeing growth around the country. So it's exciting.
Emily, you're going to have to explain to me a little bit. What's the difference? There's rugby and then there's rugby sevens.
Yeah, so rugby union is 15 aside. So that's the more traditional type of game that's more traditionally played also in colleges around the country. And then sevens, there's only 7 people on the field. So it's the same size field, just 7 people there. The games are a bit shorter, or significantly shorter. They're 14 minutes as opposed to 80 minutes. So, and you play it in a tournament style as opposed to just playing one game. You play 3 games in a day.
Ah, gotcha. We're looking at some video. And is it true? I mean, you're young, very accomplished though. Is it true that you're the general manager of all of the USA rugby teams?
For the women's side, yeah.
For the women's
I
side.
oversee the women's side, so the 15s, the 7s, and then the age grade programs.
Oh my gosh, at a young age. You must really kick butt out there on the rugby field too.
I think I'm younger than I am.
Well, I don't know. I need the moisturizer, whatever you got going. So that's huge. How does your championship playing experience kind of help guide the team?
Yeah, I mean, I had the opportunity to play 7s and 15s for the U.S., so kind of was part of the program, especially when the residency program started back in 2012, which is our Olympic training program. So just having that experience as a player, working with the union and understanding, that side of it, and then being on the coaching and administrative side for the last few years has been, kind of just gives you that 360 view of it.
Very cool.
So hopefully that helps.
And rugby is gaining popularity for both men and women. Why do you think that is?
I think it's a pretty exciting sport. I mean, especially as sevens, whether that's you're watching it or you're playing it, you get to play on both sides of the ball, attack and defense. So as opposed to football where you get tracked to one or the other. So young people get to run with the ball, they get to make tackles. You also get the contact element. I know there's a lot of emphasis right now in American football around the tackle and around safety around the tackle. And rugby just gives you a different skill set of how to tackle without having that protection of the pads. So
right. I realized when I was watching that video, I'm like, wait a minute, they're doing like what football does, but you guys aren't padded all down. So I guess there's a way that you've taught them to tackle safely.
Yeah, the rules are a little bit different as well. You have to wrap in the tackle and take the player to the ground, so that kind of changes what what the kind of parameters of it are. But how we train the tackle and the footwork into the contact and stuff, just try to get as much safety around the tackle as possible.
I couldn't do it. I played kickball with my team the other day, and they were get ready to throw the little red bouncy ball at me, and I was running all over going, no, don't touch me, don't touch me. You got to be tough to play that. So let's talk about the upcoming Women's Sevens Series tournament. What can we expect as fans?
As fans, I mean, the Women's Series and the Women's Sevens changes every year. It gets quicker, it gets more physical, gets more exciting. So I think what you'll see over the course of the series is the teams just continuing to evolve. And more teams, like the scoreline's getting closer between the top 4 teams and the next 4. So it's going to get more competitive every series stop.
Oh my gosh, cardiovascular wise, and like you have to be constantly in great top shape, right?
Yeah, our players are in, that's part of the game, and the ability to not just repeat efforts, but also to be able to have the physical output in the tackle and then turn around and fend off a tackle. So they do a lot of work on the training ground.
Let's get back to the USA team. How are they performing?
So this is the first stop of the series, so we're kind of just transitioning into in that new season. But they came 4th at the Rugby World Cup.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were, put in a really solid performance in San Francisco in July. So we're really excited about this coming season. I mean, for us, we finished 5th in the World Series last year. It's really about breaking that glass ceiling of the top 4 for us, because if you finish in the top 4, then you qualify for the Tokyo Olympics automatically, as opposed to having to go through the regional qualifier.
And hopefully you qualify this weekend, right?
Well, it'll be, it's 6 tournaments.
Okay.
So it's cumulative over the course of the 6 tournaments. So this is the opening leg. and then you get points for every tournament, depending on how you finish.
Okay.
So our goal is to be in the top 4 by the end of the 6.
So this weekend is Oktoberfest celebration, Infinity Park. How do we get tickets?
So you can go onto the website. Hopefully I get it right. It's USA Women's Sevens, the number 7S, Glendale.
See, I'm cheating. I'm watching and looking at the bottom of the screen. Do you see that? So it's USA Women's, the number 7S, Glendale.com. You got it right. All right. Up top. Go get them.
Thanks.
Rocket. Olympic qualification begins at the HSBC USA Women's Sevens tournament, and that's going to be at Infinity Park in Glendale this weekend, October 20th and the 21st. You can enjoy the real Oktoberfest beer event on Saturday, and general admission tickets start at only $15. Get those tickets online right now. Go to USA Women's Sevens Glendale.com.